it's going to look like this. So all of your choices are going to be here. Now that means the vibration is completely in alignment because those two are in alignment. Now on the multidimensional side, what it will mean is like any choice that is relevant, that is working and in alignment and in harmony, then those choices on all the dimensions are going to line up. Now this takes a form of what the way to look at it is a three-dimensional flower of life, and then you'll understand and see this in action. And as for these patterns, and as for this, well, what will happen is that the patterns don't exist. They don't exist. And what does exist is a pathway. And the pathway is neither right nor wrong, but it is like the flower of life. It is a vertices and in here, but it is a direct conduit to creation, each one of those. And then as it evolves, this happens, it merges. So it's not two separate identities, it is actually one encompassing, immersed energy source, which is the physical being and the emotional being becoming aligned and in one with and basically creating harmony. So this is a very let's just say simplistic way of providing a view as to what is coming. It's the emotion that is being cleared. It's the emotion that is going to be healed inside everyone. It does take a challenge. It will be a challenge for every single being, no matter who they are, because there are three stages to this. The three stages that we're talking about here are the conscious stage of a person having lived a conscious life. There's the unconscious stage where a beloved has lived an unconscious life. And then there is the evolved stage. Now this is where, now maybe it's not the right term to use, but I'll use it in this instance until I find a better one at the moment. So this evolved stage is one where someone has started off from the unconscious and has made a choice and gone into a conscious stage. So that's where these three. So you got these three that are going to be influenced by this event of the emotion coming into alignment with the physical. What it does mean in terms of the world as you might see it immediately will be disease, greed, anger, wars, all those sorts of things will not exist because they can't, because emotion has now become evolved. This has never happened. It's never happened for about 2,500 years, something like that. Individuals have certainly held it, but as a consciousness for the entire planet, it hasn't happened for 2,500 years. So now we're going through a cycle by which we can reinvigorate this and bring it into ourselves. And the power of that is exponential for everyone. And of course, the ultimate is this aspect here, which some may recognise, and I won't label it just yet, but in another video I may. But when this aspect intercedes with this and merges with this, then the immersion process and the culmination process is the evolution of humanity. Now, and like I said in the first part of this process, it's not going to be popular with the powers that be in terms of banks, in terms of businesses, in terms of politicians, in terms of Bilderbergers and Illuminatis and Masons. It's not going to be that healthy for them. And and the church as well. I have to mention all churches, unless they evolve, because there's no such thing as a religion. There is love, and there is an understanding of uniqueness and empowerment, and that's where, as a race, the energy flows between us. This could be one beloved, and this could be another beloved. So even though it's inside of you as an individual, it will be also inside somebody else, which means that connection is going to be harmonious there, and then so on and so on. And exactly like the flower of life, everything intercedes, intersects, and builds on itself. This process, like I said in the first one, is possibly, given the nature of humanity, it could have a possible life cycle of 50 to 80 years before it comes into full immersion. In other words, that it's like today, where we have a cell phone, which I'm using to film this. Nearly everyone's got one in this modern day. Well, the same thing with immersion. It'll be that everyone will be immersed, or those that have chosen will be immersed. And that'll be a large enough number to make the changes. And like I said earlier on, it only takes only one beloved to achieve this, and then there's basically peace on earth. And then time, money, they just don't exist. But in the physical form, if you want to consider it like this, it's imagine the world where you're basically, in your physical aspect, your body. However, it's like a very nourishing dream, in that it is alive, you're active, you create with ease, just your thoughts will create. There's no need to buy money, there's no need to actually spend anything to get anywhere. If you want to go from, say, the North Pole to the South Pole, it's just a matter of a thought. And then the transition flows that you can go there. So this is where all this is going. It may seem far-fetched right now for those beloveds who are working with current modalities. I'm talking about the next generation of modalities that are coming, and that will be evolving. All the stuff that we're talking about, ascension and energies, cycles, and beloveds from off-world coming, those are old. It's basically old stuff. It's an invocation to bring us actually now to this point. And so we can now relax because we've achieved our goal, if you like, and we can now pursue the immersion process, which means dealing with the emotions, dealing with what is. Look at beloveds who've got diseases, who are sick, ill, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's emotion. Deal with the emotion, and you will create harmony in yourself. That's the simplicity of it, though I recognise it is not an easy task. I wish it were for everyone, but it's just not that way. Okay, so that's the two parts, and I've recorded it, and then maybe I'll get to do a more refined version with a wee bit more spatial environment to work with, and maybe with a script that I can follow, as opposed to just channeling this through and bringing it through, because it comes so fast that I can't keep up with it sometimes. God bless.